Hello. The purpose of this video is to present a perspective, my summary on the week of exploration into the subject of inclusiveness in education. And just to begin, I'd like to sincerely thank Pauline Fry and Dr. Peter Haywood for their insights and for getting us started. I think we've been quite inclusive in terms of the range of subjects we've covered in the last week. We looked at the purpose of education, which is to develop critical thinking, self-expression, problem-solving, planning, and communication in general, as well as the role of education to allow us as individuals and as communities to shape and develop our own futures. We looked at how well our teachers and the teaching profession is being supported. Are we really valuing our teachers and education in our community? And we see that there's quite a gap there. We looked at curriculum broadly, and a question was raised when we noticed that there is a tendency to teach towards jobs. The question arises about those jobs themselves and what real value are they delivering to our society? And we identified a potential gap around the skills of self-knowledge and emotional intelligence, particularly in our young people. We also glimpsed the future of education as we looked at the development of online education, and we saw that this is likely generally a positive development, but there's a danger here also of increasing the technological divide for people who might live remotely, who don't have good internet access, or who don't have the means to buy a laptop or a computer. In terms of the insights which came out of our week of investigation, we saw that while there are traditional and postmodern value sets operating in Australia, the predominant cultural value is one of a modern society, with its express goals of technological, scientific, economic progress, and also an emphasis on self-belief and material success. And in a culture where those are the operating values, it's no surprise that an educational system will also express the same values. So what we're seeing currently is our universities and increasingly our secondary educational sector needing to operate as businesses as they cater to the needs of local fee-paying students and fee-paying students from overseas, with an expectation that they will gain qualifications to get them into employment. It's long been the experience, I think, in Australia that somebody graduating from university with an arts degree is not necessarily guaranteed employment. And as far as I know, we haven't yet developed up a system where we can measure the enormous value to our society of an arts degree, or indeed education for knowledge's sake. When a trend is noticed towards teaching towards jobs, I think a degree of disquiet arises, and we definitely picked this up in our week of dialogues. In my view, in order to best prepare for an uncertain future, the best response is to broaden the range of possible responses, and we can do that by supporting skills of innovation, creativity, collaboration, flexibility, and the ability to be nimble. And these outcomes, I don't think, necessarily flow from an education system which is narrowed down to technical and jobs-focused outcomes. We recognised that Australia is currently operating in an extremely competitive global environment. And there's also recognition of the value of the educational sector to the Australian economy. To teach to a vocation, I think, is okay, but to increasingly teach towards job outcomes, I think raises alarm bells. If we are striving for a future with thriving individuals, thriving communities, and a thriving planet, I think we need to commit to an education system which delivers a broad education to all of its citizens. And this commitment shouldn't just be in words, but in the way we structure our education system, in the way we fund our education system, and in the way we value our education system as something which is fundamental and primary for all Australian citizens. Thank you for listening.